you're welcome to the Emshow. My name is Edafe Matthew EseOghene, and I have with me the only person I ever called uncle on international television. And Temisan give me the look, that look. And I mean, he's, for me, one of the best writer and a miracle in talking sports. That's how I look at him like, this guy stutters now. Why does he talk this good? You know, when I came to Lagos, him and his team were the people I listened to. I'm a very critical listener, so they were the people I listened to, and they were the people who made me fall in love with Sterling Bank. Sterling Bank should be paying you people one customer bank way back in the day. You know, the Sports Vision crew, and he's also been my mentor. He's guided me, called me on occasions and told me, guy, not be so that they do, and I so that they do. You know, it's taught me a whole lot of things, tricks and flicks that have made me a better man and a better person in the industry. Have with me on the show today, the great, the ubiquitous, the enigma in sports, Uncle Akinbode Oguntuyi. I have the chance to call you this time. I'm not bothered. I'm not worried about NBC rule or anything. You're welcome to the Emshow, sir.
Good morning. It's a pleasure.
Let's set the ground running. I've always wanted to ask you this question. How does a guy who come across as someone who stutters talk sports so well?
Two things. First off, here at this moment, I must give a big shout out and thank you to the Oguntuyi, because it was actually that introduced me to television on DBA. I used to do a column back then for Sports Souvenir.
Sports Souvenir, yeah, I used to read it too.
Yeah, I used to do one side piece on basketball. Of course, at that time I was anchoring the main page for the Nigerian League, the previews and the reviews of Nigerian League. But I used to do.
You wrote one stuff about me when I was playing for Sharks.
Oh, I did?
Nice, yeah.
So they did at that time at DBA, but they come. Let's preview NBA finals. That's where it started from. NBA finals, okay. And he said, you know what? I know that your speech is not smooth, but let's just have a discussion. And so he made me forget the cameras. And you know, when you are talking about something you love, like I have some preacher friends who, when they get off the pulpit, you can't get them to say 2 or 3 words. Yeah. But once they're on the pulpit, so he said, look, so we started talking basketball that morning. That's Wednesday morning that time. And at that time, you know, there wasn't this proliferation of DSTV. Yeah. Also, that's that time of the big dishes and so the Lebanese were here. They were calling in. Who is this guy? Is he a Nigerian? How come he's not basketball? So that gave me a lot of confidence, knowing that if it's something that, if it's a topic that I'm conversant with, it will flow.
And you went from, I have one prolific writer. I'm still waiting for the day I'll invite him here. Momini Alao, for me, is the best sports writer I've ever read of in Nigeria.
He inspired all of us.
Because his style of writing is, people write. I read a lot. I'm a book person. People write. But when you can write futuristic writing, like Stanley kind of writing, you can write from today and detail what will happen tomorrow. Let me give you a very good example of that. In '98, when we were going to the World Cup in France, by January, 3rd week of January, he wrote one soccer talk on a Tuesday, and the title of that soccer talk was Banana Peel. And in that Banana Peel, he detailed every game that we were going to play. Paraguay, every game we were going to play. Yeah. How we were going to win. We were going to beat Bulgaria, Impact the Princess, we were going to have this. But then our players will get carried away and feel like they are too much, they are too good. And that was exactly what happened. He also cautioned on the fact that Mafia would hijack the team and some of the best players would not be picked. Akinbode was our most informed striker. He wasn't picked. Amokachi was taken to the World Cup. And then after the World Cup, you know how you read something and you're like, who's this one? We're not living in Lagos. I used to look at all these Lagos writers like, they're too no. They should accept. You know when you play football, that's how you look at journalists. If you sabi well, now you know they play. I better go sit down to write easy. But then, once that happened, I went back. I used to store my...
To read again.
When the World Cup ended, I went back and picked I went looking for the soccer, looking for it. I searched for it and I saw from the heap of newspapers that I've stockpiled. And I told myself that if I ever stop playing football, I shouldn't have said that anyway. Maybe that's why I got injured early. And I was going to talk sports like this man. I was going to find a way to talk sports like this man. So for me, is the one person that inspired me to come into this industry. But then I read your work a lot.
Thank you.
Writing is the most difficult thing for me. I could talk from now to tomorrow. I'm a chipmunk. But to settle down and write is always difficult because I'm too critical of myself. I'll write, I'll delete, I'll tear it out. And so how do you get into that zone where you can just write and you read it and you know this is good to go out?
First off, I tell everybody I'm first a writer. I came into talking because of one thing, because it's kind of easier. I've always wanted to be a writer from as far back as I can remember because it's something that comes naturally to me. In fact, I was having a discussion with my wife a few months ago and I said, maybe I should have studied law like my father wanted because writing was stressless. It's not something I have to take because I've been reading since I was like 4 or 5. I started reading Yoruba novels, then I went to James Adichie, Harold Robbins. And so to get to that zone like you said, an idea drops in my head and it develops itself. You know, the Chinese say that the faintest pain is better than the sharpest brain.
Yes, it is.
So once I just start developing, now it's on my phone. I just open the notes app on my phone, I jot it down. Most times, from my websites, you see, I call it microwave analysis. I used to do features a lot. In fact, I think it was at the 2000 FA Cup preliminaries in Akure. At that time, I just moved from that newspaper then that came after the Guardian. I remember the name. I just moved from there to Sport Vision, and I was doing the Sun editor discovered my features writing, and so the back page just donated it to me. Just give me 2 features for Sunday. So Saturday and Sunday I was doing features, and so this guy just came out and said, Mr. Abode, I've been trying to. Somebody come and I thought, oh, you are he. That I'm looking for you. That he did his thesis for masters on my writings. He said yes, so and he now showed me. I said, wow, interesting. You know, for me the idea drops. So I used to be a huge features person, but like you said, I realized that people don't like reading long things. And then this age, so I developed what I call microwave analysis, just 4 points, and that for me. Before you came in, I just told you that I just thought of something to write. The idea, something happens and the idea drops. And once it drops, it just stays there. It doesn't go away. It just be kicking. You know, like you said, you used to play football. You know what people say that, look, even if they don't pay me, I go play.
I'm one of that person. So I never played football wanting to. Pay me for what?
So for people that are natural writers, it's the same thing. Even if I'm sleeping, if idea drops my head until I put it down, the sleep will go. So I must get up. That's why around my bed, my laptop, my pen is there. So once the idea drops, it's not something that, and I tell people, you can't teach writing. You can't. You can. It's the same way that you can't teach somebody how to play ball. You're not fit. No. If you're not fit playing, you're not fit playing. You're not sabi. Same thing. So right, it's natural. And like you said, when I read people like Mumuni Alao, because I've been so the thing is for you to develop your own style. So for me, writing, and people have come to me and said, I want to write. Okay, I can't teach you how to write too, because writing is hard. Even every other will tell you that at the point, just get out of writing. So just leave it until the kick comes again.
Now, the industry we're in is a very unique industry, and most times I've had people call me, teach my son how to talk like you, and one of the things I struggle with is, I grew up pretty early. I think it was in 1991. Like 1991, I was in GS3, and one pastor, Pastor Silas Udwebolo, preached something, and he said, a man is a product of his environment. That was the title of his message. And when he was, explaining the message, he said people should not be arrogant that they are Christians. That, for instance, if you were born in Saudi Arabia, the chances are that you will be a Muslim. If you were born in Japan, chances are that Shintoism and the rest, Buddhism is what you will follow, or in Nepal. So you are a product of your environment. And in that relation, I relate my kind of analysis or talking sports. I grew up in Warrior and Port Harcourt. We're restless people. We are loud. We're crazy. We speak our mind the way we see it. We are Tashas. People may not like it, but that's who we are. We all don't have body odor, but I mean, we say it. We don't care. Now, somebody comes to you and say, Okunbode, teach me how to talk sports like you. But the person have not seen games like you, not followed game, not put in sacrifice, because you can't talk sports that you've not seen. It's some magic to it. So how do you respond to those kind of people?
It's interesting that you mentioned our industry. I tell all those who are coming in now, look, leave football. Even the shoemaker on the roadside, he knows football.
Yeah.
You must find 2 other sports that are not popular, that will not make you money now, and learn about them. You know. Look, so I think somebody said that for you to become an expert in anything, you need 10,000 hours of study and practice.
Just see Maxwell.
Yeah, exactly. So I just tell them, Oga, there's no shortcut to. When I'm not, people talk about my basketball. First I grew up around basketball. I grew up around Roe Park, and most of my friends play for Nigeria basketball. The Jayola, Gbadelatono, the Akinbode passed through the area. We saw him grow up. So basketball, I've always known about basketball, but it became around 1991, 1992. A friend of mine, Shegun Fashanu, a cousin to the Fashanus, he relocated to the US. So he sent me some magazines, and there was this glossy pictures of NBA players. I became interested. I started reading, and then I stumbled on the Inside the NBA at that time on CNN 4:30 every Sunday. So at 4:30 p.m. I became a disciple, and from that point, I picked up an interest in the NBA and started writing about it. And from that point till now, there's no day that I don't read basketball 2 or 3 hours online. I just go online, just read stories, read tactics, read comments, and those things, they don't go away because they are things that you invested time in for yourself. And so when I'm talking about basketball and those things pop up in my head and I mention them, they are not random facts. Just like we've been mentioning soccer here, David Beckham says that after every training, he takes X number of free kicks. I think he said 1,000 or something like that before retiring. It can't. So I tell people, nobody can. You can't become an expert at this thing without investing time in it. So if it's cricket you are picking up, or handball, or basketball, or boxing that you want to be or tennis that you want to be the other sport that you are interested in, you've got to invest time. Find the experts in the sports. Read their features. You mentioned reading. Read their features, their feature articles. Follow it, especially after tournaments, because they break it down for you so you understand what. So, and that's the only way to learn it. So my response to people like that is, look, you can't be, first off, your style can't be like mine. We're 2 different people. And then, like you said, the product of environment. Sometimes my humor comes into what I write. You're not, so your own style, with your understanding, creates a unique you that you sell. So for people like that, Oga, you can't be like me. Find your own sport, invest time in it, and then let it just bubble out of you.
Well, I don't think this is an interview now. I'm really enjoying the conversation. But let's move into national issues a bit. Janet Raw, we're playing Brazil, Singapore pretty soon.
About 10
next
days.
International break in about 10 days. Janet Raw has shown us. I'm one of those people who believe in giving coaches time. And from the beginning, I've always said give him time, even though sometimes I worry about his selections and substitutions. But without the normal attendant fuse that goes with Nigerian coaches, we are rebuilding. This man have systematically changed our team. The 2013 team is no longer there.
Yep.
We changed the team without fighting anybody, the Olise, Iyama kind of fight. No fights, no quarrel, no dispute. We have a team now that's, the average age is 22, 23 years. And it seems like if we don't press the self-include button that we normally do, the self-destruct button, we could run another possible, like the Cameroonian team of 2000, 2002. We could push and win a back-to-back African Nations Cup for the very first time. What's your take on that?
I agree with you. When General Troy first came, unlike you, me, I didn't like what I was seeing. Oga, what are you doing? Oga, why is this thing playing like this?
Anyway.
I think the turning point for me came during the Nations Cup.
What, you went to the Nations Cup? Did you see the qualifiers?
The qualifiers
for the World Cup?
As far as I was concerned, Nigeria is one of the top 3 teams in Africa. Top 3 in Africa on a good day. Okay. And so qualifiers they bring all of it together, and you are top dog.
But we were in a group that have Algeria, Cameroon, and Zambia, all African Nations Cup winners.
I agree with you. I think it was that game against Cameroon. Was it Cameroon? 4-0, yes. That was the game that I started logging in, because honestly, that game, I don't understand what happened. Because I was expecting a Herculean task, and then it was easy. Nations Cup, I felt that, I think because of like 1 or 2 matches,
yeah,
I wasn't, but by the time we got to the semi-finals that we lost, I was like, okay, maybe this guy is going somewhere. And then I realized something at that point. I still feel that General should be a bit more adventurous with the way he sets up the team. But I realized that the teams that we've had successes with, apart from the one that Civication won the Nations Cup with in 2013, all the other teams, they are build-ups.
Yeah.
The coach had time, and then the team that went to 1994 World Cup.
West Ham.
1989. 5 years. It took 5 years to build that team. And so now I look at the team, I'm thinking, in fact, when I saw the team list for the team selection, class selection of Brazil, I was like, interesting. Because Nigeria has like 30 to 35 players that you can call up, that even if they are injuries, don't worry. Because it has built up a base, like you said.
Yeah.
But I also feel that it's also benefiting from where we are now. In a way, the way a league has not been functioning well.
Dead.
Well,
the league is dead. It's dead. I'm an apostle of the league, and it's sad that I'm the one saying this, but the league is. We'll talk about Shewudiko. Let's deal with this. There.
You know, because of the way the league is, a lot of players are thinking, look, let me go abroad. And by their going abroad, they get the training that they are not getting here. And so, in a way, they are developing talents for us in all those leagues.
England,
Belgium, France, Turkey,
Denmark,
so,
Sweden, and the rest.
Even South Africa.
Yeah. So
because some players go to South Africa, and then from South Africa they go other places, Italy. And so because of that state, we are benefiting from a bad league. Although I still feel that if the league is functioning well enough, we could get the same results and because when our players go to play for teams abroad, and we call them up for Nations Cup and World Cup, and after those tournaments, they're paying monies to those clubs where they come from.
Helps our economy.
That for me, that's the most painful part. When you see that the money of a Nigerian player is going to Chelsea, is going to Arsenal, is going to. For me, it is painful. These are money that will come back, but then, of course, like you said, because of the way the league is, these boys go abroad. So General has benefited from that migration, which is also good. Look, I can't blame him for that, but he's utilizing it, which is also a pastor for him. So I agree with you that given what we have now, although I did say myself that before they went for that Nations Cup, we are not likely to win it, but the next one,
yeah, we have a chance. We
have a chance, and they can't. Nobody should tell me semi-final. We should say we are going there to win it. If you don't win it, tell us why we didn't win it, and just connect it with your chest. Say, okay, we didn't win because X, Y, Z. But last one, maybe not. But the next one, those players should have matured up to a point.
Yeah.
2-3 years in national team playing friendlies and playing tournaments. They should go to the next Nations Cup thinking we can win it. We should win it.
It's good that I have people who always guide me in this industry. And I really feel if we have to talk, we'll talk till the cameras were born. But unfortunately, this is where we will end it.